Number 1, explain how the distributive property was applied in step 1. 1/2 was multiplied by the 4 and 8 in the parentheses. Distributive property means multiply, and you multiply both numbers, 4 and 8. A different step 1 in the example is shown. As you can see, instead of multiplying by the 1/2 like we did, they multiply everything by 2. Step 1, multiply both sides by 2. Explain why both sides of the equation were multiplied by 2. What is the resulting equation? It was multiplied by 2 because that is the denominator. Multiplying by the denominator gets rid of the fraction. So when you multiply everything by 2, 2 times 6 is going to give you 12, so 12p equals 2 times 1/2, the 2's cancel out, and so you're just left with 1. 1, and then parentheses 4p plus 8. What are the coefficients of p in the equation you wrote in problem 2? Are they rational numbers? A coefficient is a number in front of a variable. So 12 and 4 are rational, because they are rational, whole numbers are rational, coefficients. Number 4, show 2 different ways to solve 2/3 times 3x plus 6 equals 4x plus 3. So, our first method. We distribute both parts of the parentheses. 2/3 times 3 is 2, so that will be a 2x. 2/3 times 6 is 4. I can go ahead and split my problem down the equal sign. I need to move the 4x over to get to the 2x because those are like terms. That is a positive 4x, so we do the opposite. We do a minus 4x. 2 minus 4 is negative 2. I can then solve by moving the 4. It's plus 4, so we do the opposite. We do minus 4. 3 minus 4 is negative 1. My last step is to divide by negative 2. And I get x equals a positive 1/2. Now, the other method of solving 2/3 times 3x plus 6 equals 4x plus 3 is to do like they did in the first couple of problems and multiply everything by the denominator. So we're going to multiply everything by 3. Now, when we multiply by 3, that gets rid of the denominator. So we have 2 parentheses 3x plus 6. And then equals 3 times 4 is 12, and 3 times 3 is 9. From here, we distribute the 2. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 6 is 12. And now I can solve my problem. I move the 12x over. Because it's a positive 12x, I have to do the opposite. I do a negative 12x. 6 minus 12 is negative 6x. I then have to move the 12. It's plus 12, so I do the opposite. I do a minus 12. 9 minus 12 is negative 3. My last step is to divide by -6. -3 divided by -6 is a positive 1/2. Number 5. Kobe's solution for 4 parentheses x minus 3 equals 1/2 x plus 2 is shown at the right. Did he solve the equation correctly? Explain why or why not. So, looking at this problem, the first thing Kobe did was distribute, and he got 4x, because 4 times x is 4x, and 4 times -3 is -12. He did the distributing part correctly. Then, he multiplied everything by 2, because the 1/2 is multiplied, the denominator is 2, so he multiplied everything by 2. 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 12. He did not multiply the 2 times the 12, and he did not multiply the 2 times the 2. So, he did not solve the equation correctly. When he multiplied by 2 to get rid of the denominator, which is fine, he can do that, but he did it wrong. He forgot to multiply the -12 and the positive 2 by 2. He didn't distribute the 2 to the -12 or the 2 to the -2. In the equation, 3 parentheses x minus 1 equals 2x plus c, for what value of c will x equal 3? Explain your reasoning. So if x equals 3, I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. And so 3 minus 1, instead of x, I use the number 3. So 2, instead of x, I use the number 3. So 3, I can go ahead and solve that part. 3 minus 1 is 2. 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6 plus c. So what number, 6 plus what equals 6? C has to equal 0. 6 plus 0 is 6. C equals 0 because 6 plus 0 equals 6.